Hey, it's the BNFF fan freak, and we're here with Soaring the NFL. As we're going to go what happened between Saturday the 18th till 25th of August. And kind of, we'll say bigger news. The Jacksonville Jaguars, ended up getting London as they won the bid to get London games for 2013-2014 since the Rams dropped out. And also, big news, Terrell Owens of the Seattle Seahawks was cut this week. Pete Carroll said he just wasn't working out and he didn't show too much in his last preseason game, so ended up being cut. I don't think Carroll really wanted to, but as the roster cuts were being down, he just didn't show too much to kind of impress him, so therefore he had to go. So we're all hoping we'll see T.O. somewhere else, but it's not looking too likely right now. And like I said, the rosters are being cut down to the 53 players this week, so we're going to have to see who will remain on all your teams. That way you can kind of plan out who will be on your depth chart and see how your team will be ready for this regular season upcoming. Peyton Manning, we've talked about on a couple shows already, where he had a couple touchdowns against the San Francisco 49ers in his three-quarter debut with 2 touchdowns. And a lot of people are saying, hey, look, there's Peyton Manning's back now. He can throw to his right, throw to the left, and he looks healthy. So we'll see in his first game against the Pittsburgh Steelers if he's truly back or what, as we saw him do very well against the great 49ers defense. For preseason week 4, we're not going to hear anything about the quarterback battles, as Cobb and Skelton will be both not playing. Locker has already won, therefore he won't be playing, and it'll just be Hasselbeck. And the others, it'll just be the backups will be playing, and the starter's already been named for week 1. They're just going to try to keep them healthy. Only Arizona's the only one that's kind of keeping both of them available. That way, I guess if something goes wrong, that way they have the other. Really only heard only one team talking about how they're going to play their starters, and that was the Rams. How they're going to play Bradford for a while, but all the others should be sitting their starters. If they are going to play them, they should only be playing for one drive. The New Orleans Saints have a hurricane coming in, and it's going to affect their practice schedule. They have not yet left their facilities, but are expected to sometime this week before the hurricane hits. Hopefully everybody gets out there safe and everything turns out to be okay for New Orleans. Des Bryant got his own rules this week from the Cowboys, where he has a curfew and certain rules he has to oblige to be a Dallas Cowboy. A lot of people were saying it's unfair and it was kind of scrutinized against him. My view is I think it was fair. I mean, if Romo or Witten or somebody else had done it, they would get the same consequences, but seeing it's been Des Bryant, he's had issues before, is why Jerry Jones put these rules down to kind of make sure he won't get in any more trouble. He's a great player, and he just doesn't want him to get off his team. Suggs of the Ravens is not expected to be back till mid-October, when he'll be expected to practice again, and hopefully Ravens fans are hoping to see him back, I know, and hopefully everything will work out for him. For Colts fans, Austin Collie said he's going to give it one more go around, as he'll be expected to play week 1 after his concussion. He's had a concussion basically each one of his seasons. So we're all hoping Collie will stay healthy this time around. He said if he gets another one, he should be done though. As of right now, there's still no MJD. He's still holding out. They said Jennings will be expected to start either way if he returns or not, because Jennings has had the most reps with the offense and Maurice Jones-Drew just missed too much. So Jennings will be the starter for week 1 no matter what Maurice Jones-Drew decides. Michael Vick, with his rib injury, said he'll be ready to play week 1. Whether that'll be seen won't be known until the actual game occurs, but with that rib injury, it'll be kind of interesting to see how Michael Vick does, if he can actually stay healthy the whole season. He's already been injured twice in the preseason, so Eagles fans are really hoping he can stay healthy, because when he's healthy, he's a very great quarterback and can lead into a great season. The Jets once again struggled this week, not scoring an offensive touchdown at all. Whether they'll get one before the end of the preseason still remains, but as for the offense, they said they're not going to have any Tebow time at all. And the experts are saying they should go out for T.O. to try to give him an option. The Jets have kind of said that they don't want him, but whether that is not, we'll see if they actually choose to stick with that choice or not. Is yet to be seen. So Jets fans are hoping their offense will be ready for week 1 against the Bills. Flexio Burris still has no teams dealing on him. He's already practiced with a couple teams, but no takes, no nothing. And then T.O. and Chad Johnson, both are teammates again in free agency this time. So we'll see if somebody will come along and get him. I mean, I think Chad Johnson would have better options than T.O. would, as he's younger. But we'll just have to kind of See what happens with all those free agents. Jahad Vest of the Lions is supposed to be on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, for the next 6 weeks as he is an injury. Brandon Whedon, who hasn't been probably one of the most struggling rookies this preseason. He hasn't had thrown interceptions or anything. He just hasn't thrown a touchdown. He's had a lot of fumbles, though, and he's working on that now. This is really only main error. He's trying to make sure he no longer fumbles the football for his team. The Colts were hinting at a trade. The trade has now been officialized that it was for Vontae Davis from the Dolphins, cornerback. The Colts got him to bring on their team. He's a pretty good player for the Dolphins. We'll see how he works out for the Colts and see if he'll play in Week 1 against the Bears. Another news for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning said his contract's just a 1-year contract because he has to stay healthy. He's taking it that way, that he has to show that he's worth it to play down the road, so he's just taking it year by year. It's just a 1 year. Hey, if I can do it, then give me another year. So he's taking it as he's only got 1 year, and he has to prove himself to deserve all those 6 years that he actually has on his contract. For Raiders fans, the news is kind of not so great, as Janikowski was injured in his game. Whether or not he will return is unlikely right now. They're all hoping he comes back. He's a great kicker, so Raiders fans are hoping for his return. Raiders' Carson Palmer said that he does not want Chad Johnson on his team. Out of respect for his other players on his team, his other wide receivers, he says he has young players here that he's trying to develop and everything, and he just thought Chad Johnson would just not be somebody he wanted on the team, and he already has the talent he needs on this team for a good season. So he declined Chad Johnson a team, basically. And kind of not football news, but he's a football player. Michael Strahan is going to get Regis's job on the talk show in the morning with Kelly. So we'll see how Michael Strahan does as an actual newscaster now. I'll probably watch one of his episodes just to see how it kind of does for his debut, but other than that, I may not really watch, but who knows if it's interesting maybe, or something that's on in the morning. Either way, that's basically it for this week's Soaring the NFL. We'll have another one coming at you next week. So, you keep watching. Hope you enjoyed all the videos, and enjoy all the games.